What's up, guys? David here, 1, 2, and 2 to take out another list for you. I've been doing these lately because the ban list hasn't come out, and honestly, I'm gonna wait to update all my decks until we get the new ban list, if we even get one. And half of mine are waiting for the the next set anyway. So I figured let's have some fun in the meantime and do some fun stuff I've been meaning to do for a while now. And today's list is actually gonna be the worst ritual monsters in the game. Now, I really like to preface this with this list could have been just the entire collection of vanilla rituals, just like the ones that don't do anything, and for the most part it kind of is. However, I do want to say that, you know, some of these are from very, very, very early in the game when rituals were first a thing. They were like, you know, like any other support for a new card mechanic. You know, the first run is always really bad, so I do want to say that. And I didn't put all of them in here, and I also didn't do the 8 to 1 like I normally do level wise, because some of the levels only have 1 at it. Like level 1 is only relinquished, and I would not put him on a worst of list because he would also be number 1 on the best of list. But that seems kind of cheesy and dumb, so I just skipped around a little bit, and I figured, you know what, this is the list of the bad cards that I see very little point to, as well as maybe just their artwork is stupid and things like that. So it's a little less structured than the other two have been, mostly because, again, this list could have been all vanillas, and for the most part it is. But anyway, let's get started.
Number 8.
Kulan the Awakened. Now, this one is the only one on the list that has an effect. It could have easily just been a bunch of vanillas, like I said, but I kind of wanted to mention this card only because its effect is really, really bad, and I really can't figure out a deck you would actually want to run this in. But basically what you do is, once per turn, you can remove from play one of your vanillas in your graveyard, just one of your normal monsters, and this card attack becomes the attack of the monster removed from play until your next standby phase. What? It's a level 4 light, so okay, but it's got 500 base attack, and its effect would only work in a deck full of vanilla monsters. So this thing is almost worse than some of the vanilla ritual monsters on this list, simply because it, even though it does have an effect which technically makes it more useful, it's just, its effect is dumb and nonsensical, and it's like I don't even remember ever seeing this card ever. Like I discovered it on the list today when writing this whole show, so I don't know, but I was like, so I had to mention this thing because this thing is stupid, it's bad. So yeah.
Number 7.
Crab Turtle. Alright, here comes the parade of cruddy vanillas. Basically, they're just going to be in descending power for the most part at this point. But Crab Turtle, one of my early memories of like Magic Ruler, I opened this pack and I'm like, cool, a blue card, sweet. And I'm like, wait, Crab Turtle is a level 8 and it's got 2550, 2500 attack defense spread. It's a water aqua, so its typing's appropriate, but it's like, at level 8, not having something closer to Blackluster Soldier's stat line means that you are attributing, what, like 2-3 monsters out of your hand just to summon this thing that has pretty lackluster stats. Like, that's like a, what, a neg 3? I mean, yeah, this card's bad. Only because its stats are lackluster and its level's too high.
Number 6.
Javelin Beetle, the exact same argument as Crab Turtle. Its level's too high and its stats are too low. And this is a problem pretty much with every one of the vanilla rituals. I'm not exactly sure what Konami was going for, or when they first made ritual monsters. I don't know if they thought because they're a special summon that they should be nerfed a little bit, like balanced by having less attack power and defense power than like vanilla and effect monsters of equal level, but you're negging so much out of your hand to summon these things that essentially just beat sticks, and they can't even be very good beat sticks. So I'm not exactly sure what they were going for with any of these. And Javelin Beetle is no exception. He's just not a very good card at all.
Number 5.
Skull Guardian. I at least like this card's artwork. It's pretty cool, but I mean, let's be real here. He's level 7 with 2050 attack power. First of all, 2050, what? Why do all these rituals have like weird attack powers with 50s in them. But anyway, for a level 7, that's atrocious. Like, you know, that's bad. This is like Stone Dragon bad. So, ugh. But like I said, his artwork's kind of cool, and he's a light for some reason, so that's kind of neat.
Number 4.
Dokurorider! Now, Dokurorider is probably the weakest on the list of all the level 6s I've mentioned, so he probably should technically be lower, but I didn't have the heart to put him down there, because frankly, he's a cool card. He's also, if you look at the trivia, the first ritual monster ever released in the OCG, which means he's the first ever. So that's kind of cool. And being a level 6 zombie means he's not completely useless. He's still very bad, so he's still on the list. At 1900 attack, he's not worth the summon. But I'm sure you could do something with him. And being that, you know, he's a zombie, if you do properly ritual summon him, you could probably summon him back pretty easily. I'm stretching here.
Number 3.
Fiend's Mirror! Oh boy. This one is actually stronger than Dokurorider, but it's lower on the list because it doesn't have that coolness factor of being like the OG ritual, and instead it's got the lameness factor of being... It's literally just a mirror. It's not even a monster holding a mirror or anything. It's just a mirror. It's just a dumb card. It's very uninventive, and it's stupid.
Number 2.
Performance of Sword. Again, what a weird card, like, Performance of Sword. So the monster isn't even the girl, you know, that's dancing with the sword. The monster is her performance of the sword. So, what? I'm not sure that makes any sense. But, again, the monster's atrocious. It's not much stronger than Dokurorider, and being a Warrior Earth, its typing's at least appropriate, but when would you ever summon this thing? And not to mention the fact that its level and power are just, again, completely inappropriate.
Number 1.
This stupid card. The only reason why this thing is number 1 is because the card is a freaking cheeseburger with teeth. This card, Hungry Burger, is probably one of the dumbest cards in the game, simply from just like just broad spectrum. Let's go. All right, first, it's a ritual, so inherently that's a broken, bad mechanic. Rituals it's a terrible mechanic. The only reason Necros worked was because every one of the pieces in the deck searches another one of the other pieces, so that you can fix the inherently bad part of rituals, where you can just have all rituals or just all ritual monsters, but not enough of each in order to summon anything. So Necros were the natural way to fix that. But on the whole, rituals are a bad mechanic because it requires you to have 2 specific cards in your hand, and that a 2-card combo is never good unless, of course, half your deck is devoted to searching both pieces. And if it is, then both pieces better be something like Necros Mirror and Trishula that are very powerful, not something like crappy like the cheeseburger and the recipe for it. I mean, okay, so number 1, it's a ritual. Number 2, it's a bad ritual. So its stats are terrible. I mean, not as bad as the 2 above it, but even still, it's just like it's not even worth the summon. At a level 6, it's so mind-bogglingly weak. Alexandroid Dragon is a normal summonable vanilla level 4, and it is strong as this thing, and that is pathetic. Number 3, its artwork is dumb. It's a cheeseburger. So, like, the only thing you can hope to do with this card in the deck is have your opponent laugh and quit simply out of, you know, incredulity due to you summoning this stupid thing. It's just like Larva Moth. If you can get it off, maybe your opponent will quit out of respect for you summoning this absolutely atrocious card. And the fact that it's like a Dark Warrior doesn't make any sense. Why is it a warrior? Why isn't this a fiend? It's like a possessed cheeseburger. It's very fiendish. It's a demonic cheeseburger. So why isn't it a fiend? It's certainly not a warrior. I mean, it's barely a fiend, but I wouldn't know what else you'd call it. There's no food type. But yeah, the card's stupid. It's number one on the list because it's just a dumb card. Now, I personally don't hate the card. I personally think it's hysterical. And I've made a couple of decks where you can summon this thing like crazy. Like I made a Necros variant that just pumps Hungry Burger out. It's stupid. It really only kind of uses it to make rank 6s. It's not very it doesn't win with Hungry Burger. I don't think you could make a deck with a win condition for this card. And if you can, please down below, like, tell me about it, because I would love to see somebody make a deck that their win condition is like this uber powered Hungry Burger. Alright guys, that was the list. Let me know down in the comments below all the crappy rituals you guys love to hate, and you know, I'm very curious to do it. And I think next up I will do the companion list for this, unless, you know, maybe I might do some newsy type stuff in between, who knows. I don't want to burn my list load too fast, but these are actually fun to do. They're actually pretty easy too. So I've been really busy with a lot of stuff. So these are nice little things, because I really don't want to shortchange you guys on content. I mean, I'm already like at 2 videos a week anyway, so I don't want to go less than that. So anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. And remember, guys, if you don't troll them out, who will? I'll see you guys next time. Blue Eyes White Dragon! There's no way that it wasn't going to be Blue Eyes White Dragon. I mean, it's Blue Eyes White Dragon!